All right, today we are going to do some lino cut and we're going to get some interesting marks on the plate. Stay tuned. So welcome back. If you haven't been here before, I'm Susan Clifton and I normally do videos on gel printing and collage. But I wanted to revisit something that I used to do when I was very young, before college. I used to do lino cut. And the materials that they have today are much easier to cut. And I bought a new set of blades. That's what you see over there on the right, the red thing. The actual blades are stored in the handle. And I've been having fun playing with this and making texture plates for the gel plate. So that's what we're doing today. So all I did was trace the lino material that I purchased. And now I'm just doing a random design. And that is what I'm going to use to cut. Now I bought this at Blick, as you can see, and it's called a Ready Cut. And it has a gray painted top. So as you're cutting through, you hit the white on the bottom and you can see how, how deep you've gone. So the blade sets come with these V-cuts. There's two V-cuts, small and a large. There's a scoop, and there's also like another blade that just cuts lines. I think there's three V-cut blades. I think there's a really small one, a medium one, and a larger one. I'm probably going to use just one of the V-cut blades, and then I am going to use the scoop for most of it to scoop out the background. And I'm using some transfer, carbon transfer paper to trace my design. I don't have to be too exact. And as it turns out, it didn't do a great job of transferring. I could barely see it, so I had to go over it with my pencil. There's another way of doing this, and I'll put that in another video, and it's probably a much better solution, but I didn't have the option of doing it this day. So you could see, you can barely see it, but I could see it, so I am going over it with my pencil. So after I get it all drawn out, then I'm going to want to use my V blade, and I'm going to just go around the outlines. Okay, so I'm just going to mark off the areas that I want to cut, because you can get really confused when it's all the same color. So I'm just going around and outlining the parts that I cut. Now see how you could see the white through? For safety reasons, you always want to cut away from yourself. Now they do sell these nifty little things that you can attach to the edge of your desk, and then you can lean your linoleum up on the other side, and it sort of gives you some traction, and it makes it a little safer for you to work. And unfortunately, I don't have one of them at this time, so I'm just being very careful as I cut to make sure that I don't gouge myself. So the possibilities for making wonderful texture plates for your gel printing, it's just endless here. I mean, think about all the different things that you can do here. It could be representational, it could be abstract, whatever you want it to be. So after I go around all of the edges, then I switch to the scoop. And it's just like a little bit of a U-shaped tool, and I take out all the background part. And I'm intentionally not being that neat with it, because I actually want it to be kind of have that wood cut. I'm doing quotes, air quotes, wood cut. I wanted to have that look. And I think I want to play also with, not today, but I want to do something more representational. I have a book of Mexican imagery that I have been really thinking about doing woodcuts on. And not woodcuts, lino cut. I don't think I have the strength for a woodcut. But I think the Mexican imagery really would lend itself to this. I think it would be really fantastic on a gel plate as well. So I will probably do more of this here on the channel because this is something that I really want to play with. So I did notice, maybe because this is a cheap set, that when I would get to the edge, the blade would like stop cutting. And so sometimes I had to like go sideways to, clean up the edges. I'll have to try to find a website that has only Linocut tools so I can, get something a little more quality, sharper blades. But then I'll have to really be careful because the sharper the blade, the more dangerous it can be. So it was around this point where I really started free-forming it a little bit more. As I was cutting out of there and then I saw what was happening right around this bend, I really liked the way that looked and I decided to keep that. And then I decided to cut some straight lines in some of these little islands, and I'm doing it kind of unevenly. I'm not trying to be perfect, and I decided to go to the thinner blade. Again, I'm using the V, but I'm going with the smaller one. So that's what I mean by the edge. Sometimes on the edge, I just could not get it to cut. So I'm very happy with this. This design came out much better than some of the other ones that I've done. You'll see this little pink linoleum up towards the top of the screen. I had purchased that originally thinking it was going to be really easy to cut, and it wasn't that easy, and it was all one color. So this gray one with the white backing is much, much easier to work with. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this like this, and then maybe like this. And I'm gonna do the rest of the plate with this stencil because it has, a very thin edge. So I think it'll be nice. Anyway, let's lay down some, a little too much. See if I can get some more off. It's a little too aggressive with the squeezing. Okay, so I'm going to do this first because I didn't get it straight anyway. I'm going to go this way. I'm going for the ghost. And this is rice paper. I like that. I want to try to overlay now on this side with a darker color. Actually, let me first I want to see what happens when a little buildup of paint happens on this. I want to see if it actually picks up better. Or if it's actually worse. Now I want to put a dark color. So I'm going to go for the Payne's Gray. I think I want to go over this area. So I'm going to kind of stay on this side of the plate. Okay, let's see if we can. Wow, I love it. I love it. Okay, so now what I want to try to do is put some Payne's Gray on this and stamp this here. Let's see if that works. Let's just put that right here. Actually, I'm going to use my plate. Okay, let's try to move this quickly. Let me see if I have a clean brayer. That didn't work. That was surprising. Let's see, maybe if I added a little bit more. That worked better, and it was almost right on top. Slight registration off, but so you know, you could do that as well. You could also and then stamp onto the plate. Ooh, I like this. I'm definitely picking this up. So see how you can just use it as a texture stamp. All right, I'm gonna let this dry. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll pick it up with another color. Okay, I wanna try one other thing. I'm gonna get a piece of freezer paper. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna let all of this is still drying on this side. Now that has to dry, and then I'm gonna pick it up. I think with a little, I've added white to this gray, but it is still not very light. So I'm probably gonna mix it up with even more white. We'll mix it right on the plate and we'll pick this up. Okay, so let's see. Whoops. Smooth side down. So this rice paper that I'm using today is this one that's supposed to be for inkjet printers. It says long fibers of hemp are refined so as not to spoil the natural texture. I like it for printing. It's actually pretty good. I mean this kind of printing, gel printing. I don't like it for the inkjet. It absorbs too much of the ink and the print is kind of flat. The colors aren't popping. Oh yeah. I like that gray. I like that the white didn't mix totally. This grunge is going to be fabulous on something. With the gray coming through, I think Payne's gray, which is actually like a navy blue, and this is actually a neutral gray number 5 from Nova Color that I mixed with white. Probably like 1/3 white, 2/3 gray. And then I put a little bit of white on, you know, straight and mixed it on the plate so that we get this, you know, we get a little bit of unusual marks. Also on my plate was still a little bit of that teal color, so we really picked up some of the Indian yellow in here, so it's all great. Definitely love stamping onto the plate. Really interesting. Oh, here's my favorite parts of this. Like this, see that mark that it made right there? If I made nothing but circles that had cuttings going through, like this, this whole area here, it just makes a really beautiful mark. So now I wish I had done an 8x10. Oh my God, that was fun. So I love, love, love this. I will definitely be using this again. I kind of like that I can hold it in my hand, you know, squeeze it a little. You know, I'm gonna try just using it like that. I like what we did here, where it was more planned, where I was trying to almost kind of line it up. I love that I put a subtle layer in between and that I stamped on top as well. So this was a fun experimental sheet. This one was a total like accident, because I was using this to, you know, put the paint on here so that I can do this. And then I just started playing, and for me this is more fun, because this is the kind of stuff that I like to use in collage. This is obviously not a finished composition, but there are elements here that are very interesting. A lot of fun. You should give this a try. It's not hard. As a matter of fact, with this kind of material, this ready cut plate, super easy to cut. The tools are not expensive. It's something new for you to try in the new year. So speaking of the new year, Happy New Year, everyone. I have lots of plans for 2025, and I hope you will come along with me. So don't forget to create, inspire, and share, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.